Hey, and welcome to this reading where we're going to be exploring whether you're on the right path. So take a moment to think about your question and which card that you're most drawn to. So group number 1, we have the 10 of Voices and we have the crystal, the quartz. Group number 2, we have the 10 of Materials with the amethyst crystal. And group number 3, we have the Chariot with the crystal Tiger's Eye. Each card and crystal has its own message that can shed light on your journey and provide guidance. So really trust your instincts as you pick your card, and let's find out together what tarot reveals about your path ahead. Once you've made your decision of which card you're most drawn to, you'll find the link to your reading in the description box below. Love and light. Hey, group number 1, so you chose the 10 of Voices and the crystal quartz. Now, starting off with this, and this is in the placement, the current energies that are surrounding you. So the 10 of Voice tells me that something or someone has wounded and hurt you in some ways, group number 1. And it's really feeling that things have not been going in your favour, in your way of late. Like maybe a situation, could be anything, a relationship, career, finances, that something has broken down, or maybe more than one area of your life, as feels like it's something where you're struggling, group number 1. Now with the good news of the 10 of Voices is that it's the closing out of a cycle. So with it brings a message that the worst is over, that you may feel like as well that you are at the end of your tether, that you've been pushed to the brink, and maybe that you feel like you can't continue dealing with this situation. But like I say, with the light in the sort of silver lining in this message is that the worst is over, and that you are coming to an end, like these painful scenarios are beginning to close out. Now right next to it, so we have the 9 of Materials, and this is in the placement of, are you on the right path? So despite the pain and struggle that you've been in and up to this point, the path that you're actually on is leading to something positive. It can lead to, the 9 of Materials talks about having our own independent happiness in a way, like our own achievements that we've done, like we've achieved something on our own, and in a way that it's extra special and extra joyful because it's something that we've achieved and we've done without maybe the help of anyone else. It can be about financial independence. For some of you, if money problems have been an issue, then this tells me that things will get easier on that front. We see this scattered flowers coming through here, which is about growth, blossoming. And this woman here at the centre is in, a happy mood. She's full of joy. So it's more that you are moving towards those energies more. Like I say, finances have been difficult, you can expect that to get easier. But it's almost like I'm feeling and hearing like a breakthrough moment. So once this begins to close out, something will almost feel like setting you free. So if it was a new job, for example, or some good news that will usher in more positive energies. Now the obstacle, interestingly, this is in the placement of the obstacle, we have the Empress. Now the Empress is a major arcana, and it's about, the Empress is all of the queens combined. So all of the Queen of Swords, Wands, Pentacles, Cups, all of those qualities combined in one. She's like the mother of the tarot in essence. She is about nurturing in a divine feminine way. So not through force, but through patience, through nurturing, through love. That is the best results that that's the message that she brings, and that there are situations that require this kind of energy. And I would say with this being in the obstacle position, it could potentially be about how you see yourself, group number 1, that maybe you aren't seeing how powerful you are, the essence of you, the beauty of you as well. And it's about seeing yourself in the true light that you are, and not seeing yourself in a negative light. So maybe these past experiences, these struggles, have really given your confidence a knock, have really made you doubt yourself a lot. And obviously all these negative feelings, we can often turn them in on ourselves if situations are getting difficult and it's been somewhat of an onslaught. It's very hard not to internalize these negative energies that surround us and somehow blame ourselves. And with these 2 cards together, it's about in some way coming back to yourself, group number 1, about doing things or tapping into empowering yourself once again. Maybe that will come with this breakthrough, a new opportunity. If things begin to get easier, maybe just being able to move out of survival mode will be able to bring you back to yourself, group number 1. But I feel like this is an important message, that somehow reconnecting to your inner world, to the power within, to the magic within you, finding your identity somehow again that's maybe been lost along the way. And this will really help you on your journey. This is an important part of the process, group number 1, and will keep you on the right path. You are the message, the question was, are you on the right path? And we've seen the 9 of materials here. I would say yes, even though the struggles have been there, and maybe it's often you've really felt like you weren't on the right path. I think it is leading to something positive for you. So maybe you've had to make quite a lot of sacrifices, knowing that this is at the end of the road and this was the goal, something that's really important to you. But the message also comes, or the obstacle is, not to lose yourself in the process, to not turn negative energies in on yourself, but to stay empowered and to see the beauty within yourself. Now, what will help you overcome, or what will help you connect to yourself? We have the 10 of inspiration, so another 10. This is about being able to put down the burdens, group number 1. Again, it's the same message of this 10 of voices here, or a similar message, about being able to reaching the end of a difficult cycle, and be able to finalize and close up loose ties, I'm seeing, and be able to let go of situations or people that have really you've been in some conflict with, who's caused you some pain and suffering. It just feels like a very heavy situation that you've been in, and you are really kind of at the end of your tether and haven't got much left in the tank, I'm seeing. And being able to finally put down this burden. So it could be very circumstantial and very practical, like maybe there's a certain date even, quite a specific date even, that you've known that if I can just get to that point, then it'll be over. But it's been very much of a struggle to get to that. But it feels, again, just the message confidently coming across, that the silver lining in all of this is that I feel like you've done the right thing, you've fought the battle in a way, you've stuck in there with the struggle and looked after yourself in a way and kept your goal in mind, and then it will come to an end, and that's when things can begin to get easier. That's when you can begin to reconnect to yourself, and the energy will start to lift around you, group number 1, and will start to free up, and a sense of flow can come back into your life. Now, in the final card, we have what should you be focusing on as you move forward. The the Knight of Materials, we have this lovely, the same rose of the Nine of Materials echoing here throughout into this card, which I just feel like is that sense of you being able to blossom again after a time of just hard work and struggle. And the Knight of Pentacles is about being able to make some real progress. So being able to, what you've achieved in a way by sticking in with the struggle, group number one, and then it's really about reaping the benefits of that, and the progress is really sustainable, is substantial. I think you'll benefit from it. So again, it could be financial benefit, or it could be for a relationship, for example, that if you've been through a difficult time together, and it's having that breakthrough on the other side, where it's like what you have is something, you have a very good foundation to build on. That's what I'm seeing and feeling, that is a result of you sticking in with this, let's say with the struggle. Now the Knight of Pentacles brings a message about being patient as well. So don't try to rush the situation, but instead just methodically stick in there, sort of day in, day out. But again, it feels a more positive energy. It's not just a slog. It feels alive, and it feels more inspired, and it has a good energy to it. We see this horse that is being able to gallop, and that's the sense that I'm getting, that it's like the movement that you've been looking for by freeing yourself of these more negative energies. I'm seeing you'll feel lighter, and there's going to bring more movement. But it is a very consistent energy. It's a stable energy that the Knight of Materials brings. But I feel like you'll finally be able to move forward, is what I'm hearing, after maybe feeling very stuck and weighed down. So I hope this reading resonated, group number one. If it did, please give me a thumbs up and leave any comments in the section down below. It's always great to hear from you, and subscribe for all future readings. But wishing you all the best with this circumstance and scenario. Love and light. Hey group number two, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the crystal, the amethyst, and the beautiful 10 of Materials. Now this is in the placement of where you're at now, the energies that are surrounding you. So it could be where you're already at, or what energies that you're moving into in the very near future. And the 10 of Materials is a beautiful card. It's about material success. It's about moving into your dream life as such. So it could be a dream job, family scenario. I do see you connecting with other like-minded people. So be that in a family situation, or let's say friends, or even in the workplace. But it feels like it has a spiritual family element, is what I'm hearing. And they're all surrounded this beautiful tree here that is blossoming with all these roses that we see here. So it's a tremendous amount of growth. It feels inspired. The energy feels very positive. And for some of you, this could be about financial growth as well, so money coming in. But there's something very significant about what's surrounding you at the moment, about if you feel very focused maybe at the minute about progress that you're making towards your desires and dream life. It feels very motivated, and it feels the Materials is about hard work often as well, about grounding our dreams. So maybe you've been putting in a lot of effort and a lot of hard work towards getting ahead, like towards leveling up. Because right next to it we have the 6 of Materials, and this is in the placement of asking the question, are you on the right track? And the 6 of Materials is, again, we see these roses, these blooms sort of echoing throughout the cards for you, group number two. Now the Six of Materials is about balance and reciprocity. So I would say that yes, you are on the right path, but with the caveat from Spirit of, as long as things remain balanced, in the sense of that whoever you're working with on this path, be it like say in a relationship, workplace, etc., is equal, as in what you're putting in, are you getting back? And then you can ask yourself that question and check in with your intuition to see what comes back when asking that question. Because we see these two people here, but it's the same person, but it's almost like twins to me, I'm seeing. And they're mirroring, their energy is mirroring each other. And because they're matching each other's energy in this card, there's kind of an explosion of energy and growth and positivity. It's bursting this card with positive energy. And I feel like that's the question, is if you feel like yes, that is like, and that's what's the joy in the situation, is almost that you've met your match, or you've met someone or a group of people who we see here as well in the Ten of Materials, who you've been able to collaborate with, who's actually someone who's finally sort of on the same page as you, group number 2. Because so many times that the timing can be off, or if we're in the wrong environment, that we're not able to bloom if we don't work in the same way as others, for example, or they don't have the same goals as us, all those factors. And then it's like it has to be a sort of perfect timing and perfect alignment to have this joy of being in the right place at the right time, is what I'm hearing, group number 2. So just like I say, check in with yourself if you feel like, I feel like you'll know straight away, you know, if it resonates with you, yes, this is my people, my person, or you may not have that. There may be some red flags and questions about if it's for you. It feels like it is, so, but you know, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, as in if it feels like that you have met your match in a positive way, and for some of you, you know, the answer may not feel quite as certain. Now this is in the placement, we have the Ace of Inspiration as the obstacle, which is interesting. Now the Ace of Inspiration is about getting projects started, or it's about even having the idea to get, we see this person here who is having a flood of ideas about knowing what to do knowing what to do next, like what projects that they're interested in, or what ambitions as well. In the inspiration suit is all about creative projects, feeling inspired. It can also be about like romantic love for some of you, so about feeling passionate as well, you know, it can be about that kind of energies. Now I'm just going to pull a card just for some clarification here about why the Ace of Inspiration. Why is this an obstacle for you, group number 2? Is it that you, because up to this point it feels like that you are inspired, so we have the Ace of Materials. So the Ace of Materials, again, this more materials energy about. The Eight of Materials is about working hard. So is it potentially that maybe you feel like that it feels like all work and no play, maybe for some of you, group number 2. The Ace of Inspiration is maybe about bringing the inspiration back into it, Does the work that you're doing, again, does it align with your creative passions and your ideals? Or does it just feel like something that you have to do, maybe? Again, if the energies are balanced with the Six of Materials, with how much work that you're putting in, if you're doing too much of the labour and it's not balanced, then that will naturally take out the joy and creativity of the situation for you. That could be for some of you. And it could be that you feel creatively blocked. It could be that the situation maybe doesn't inspire you anymore, even though it is at the minute your goal is obviously working towards success. Now, what will help you overcome this block? We have the Three of Materials, which is about collaboration and working together. So again, echoing back that it's almost like, I feel like the message is group number 2, that you can't do it all on your own. There does need to be, throughout this reading, we've seen you being surrounded, the Ten of Materials is having this supportive group and family around you. For some of you, maybe that's what you're not feeling that at the moment. Again, we've got someone, in order to reach this goal, the situation needs to be balanced. The people in your life need to be matching your energy. And then to overcome this creative block or this passion that we see that maybe could be missing at the moment for you, group number 2, we've got the way to bring that back into your life and into this project or situation is by having people who are equally passionate and equally on board with you. So again, it's that question about having the right people around you, group number 2. And I feel like that's the theme of this reading. And then what should you be focusing on? We've got the beautiful Queen of Inspiration. And this is about coming back to yourself, I think, group number 2. About, interestingly, it's the inspiration again. So it's about what you feel passionate about. Maybe you feel burnt out about trying to achieve this goal because you've been carrying a heavy burden with that and been doing the lion's shares of the work, for example, and there's no time for you to feel in touch with what you love or to feel inspired because you're burnt out from just having to do all the heavy lifting. So it's about bringing this back into this path. Don't sacrifice this side of yourself, group number 2, this Queen of Inspiration side of you that is full of fire and passion and inspiration. The Queen of Inspiration is very attractive to others, is a natural leader, someone who's kind of naturally very outgoing, and people really love to be drawn to a Queen of Inspiration. I feel like Spirit wants me to pass that on to you, that's you have such a warm energy field around you, group number 2, and people are really drawn to that. And maybe this situation, this path that you're on, don't lose the message being like, don't lose that along the way in trying to achieve the success that you want. You will get there. You will get this Ten of Materials. Don't doubt that. But it is about having the right people around you so that you can bring your passion and flair and leadership and all these beautiful qualities can be a part of that journey, and it doesn't just become hard work and something that's like just the weight of the world on your shoulders in a way. And it's about having the right people around you. And what steps can you take, group number 2? Is it about letting go of people who are draining your energy to make room. It can just be that could be a first place to start of maybe what needs to happen is first about letting go of people who are a drain on you, so that you can preserve your energy, so that you can create space for people who will step up and step into the space and help you get here. For others, it could be about allowing people to help more, if maybe that you've got into a mindset from past, maybe you've been let down in the past, so maybe it's scary to let people in and try and let them help. So that could be for some of you as well, or a combination of all those things. So group number 2, I hope this reading resonated. If it did, please do give me a thumbs up, leave any comments in the section down below, and subscribe for all future readings. But wishing you all the best with this situation. Love and light. Hey group number 3, welcome to your reading. So you chose the crystal Tiger's Eye. And the card that you were drawn to as well was the beautiful Major Arcana, the Chariot. Now the Chariot, this is in the placement of what current energies are surrounding you, or what's coming in the near future, group number 3. And what I see with this card, the Chariot, is a renewed confidence and a very strong sense of direction. The Chariot is about feeling on a very particular path. So obviously this reading is if you're on the right path. And just even by pulling this card, like being drawn, that you were drawn to this card, I feel like that it's kind of a resounding yes, that you are on the right path, because with the Chariot comes this confidence that and determination that whatever falls in your path that might be a block or an obstacle, you have the confidence and the faith and the determination to know that you will overcome it, which is a very different energy than wanting something to happen, hoping, wishing, also hoping for it to be maybe very, very easy in some ways and just kind of happen. Where the different energies with the Chariot is about getting so focused on a goal and on a path that you kind of understand that there will naturally maybe be obstacles and blockages and challenges along the way, but that doesn't fill you with fear or anxiety or make you not want to continue down this path. It just makes you feel like, but you have such confidence and clarity that you'll know that you can overcome them, which is a very different, let's say, very different kind of energy and a very empowering energy. So to feel that confident and that determined and that clear is incredibly empowering. And that's energies that I'm seeing that are surrounding you, group number 3, or coming into their near future. If you are, you know, you've come to this reading asking if you are on the right path, so it suggests that you are already on one, and that this is, the further maybe you go down this path, the more determined that you'll feel with the Chariot. Things will begin to gather speed as well and pace, and it will almost I feel like it will get a life of its own. It's like a wheel that is, I'm seeing a wheel that is rolling along, you know, a road, and it's getting faster and faster and faster, and will pick up speed. So if you felt things maybe have been stagnant in the past, then that is, the further you go down this path, maybe this shift in energy that you feel that you've locked into this path now, and you feel certain. And you feel more confident, and the self-doubt has lifted and gone. So that's what's going to change it for you, group number 3. And then in some ways it will become easier because you have an understanding that it will happen instead of wanting it to happen. There's a knowing. Now in the placement, this is actually in the placement of am I on the right path? We have the 6 of emotions, which is strangely, it's a very different kind of energy to the Chariot, in the sense that the 6 of emotions is about being in your feelings quite a lot. It's about feeling nostalgic about the past. We see this is like an inner child, so it can be connected, emotions that are connected to our inner child. So a situation, something or someone, there's some memories that are surrounding this situation, this path that you're on, that is somehow it's almost taking you back to the past. So for some of you, it could be about reconnecting with someone from your past. It could be about going back to getting on a path and a road that has long been shut down, that maybe you turned away from it, and now that you find yourself revisiting it, it's like an old way of being, but in a positive way. It's like reconnecting to your true self, like a self that maybe you were when you were younger. That is maybe a place, a path where you can be your inner child. Like, what does your inner child love? What brings them joy? What brings them happiness? And this path that you're on feels connected in some way, so to your past self, or to a person or persons in your past. So that's a really interesting energy. But I feel like that this, as in the question, if you're on the right path, I would say yes to that. And this feels like, even though the Chariot is such a strong, powerful energy, and it's giving you that determination and strength, kind of what's underneath that is something softer, and it's something really important to, it could be a whole shift of direction of where you decided to take your life. Or, it could even be reconnecting with a childhood sweetheart, or maybe something that you loved when you were younger, and then, if you were an artist, for example, and going back to that artwork and deciding to actually make a career out of it. So whatever resonates for you, group number 3, but it's a powerful energy mixed with something much softer and purer. That's really what's driving this. But I feel like that you feel very determined to go down this road, and reconnect essentially to your soul path, to your true, what you were meant to do, is what I'm hearing. So it's a powerful message. Now, the obstacle is the Queen of Voices. And this is, the Queen of Voices is someone who is very committed to the truth, and is someone head over heart, so is very logical by nature, is someone who can be quite harsh in their approach to feelings, in the sense of that they will be very matter of fact and not appear, at least, to be not emotional. Now, this could be someone in your life, group number 3, who is an obstacle, maybe, who is somehow blocking you. It will be an obstacle on this path, someone who maybe doesn't agree with you taking this road, and is trying to drown you in logic, because maybe it seems a bit off the cuff, and it's a bit of a risky venture. Or this could be your inner voice, like another side of yourself that it has got self-doubt, and is maybe, this doesn't look on the surface to be like a logical step. It maybe looks to be heart driven rather than head driven, and often in this society, in this day and age, that can be frowned upon. We're very conditioned to follow our heads and not listen to our hearts or feelings, but instead just use our head to do the right thing and kind of do as we're told, do what's expected of us, all that kind of energy. I'm just going to pull a card for a bit of clarity on this Queen of Voices. Let's say it could be an inner voice for you, group number 3, that is maybe, but you are ultimately, you are set on this path. So it could be someone who, or other people who are surrounding you, who will maybe try to just discourage you to go down this road. Oh, there we go. 9 of Emotions. So it could just be the head and the heart having a bit of a tussle of conflict. The 9 of Emotions is about, again, doing what is emotionally fulfilling, like what makes you happy, rather than maybe what's doing what is expected of you. The 9 of Emotions is that kind of peaceful, it has a peaceful, satisfied energy. We see this woman here who's surrounded by beautiful wishes that have come from this genie lamp that have been granted. So it's like dreams come true energy, but it's quite mystical. It's about a spiritual path as opposed to, you know, it's a higher power kind of energy. It's about what really fulfills our soul, not doing what is expected of us. And I think in this reading, and the Queen of Swords feels it all depends in what aspect and position that she's in. But in this reading, I feel like it being in an obstacle position, it's about those harsher energies, about something or someone energy, about feeling that pressure to do the right thing, when really you've kind of already made the decision to take more of what's emotionally fulfilling, group number 3. But this is coming up as a block in others maybe who are questioning what you're doing, or for some of you it could still be the voices in our head telling us, bringing in those self-doubts. But what we have next to it is what will help you overcome this, is the 8 of Emotions, which is about walking away from what is not emotionally fulfilling. So I feel like this is clarification and confidence boost from Spirit to say that it is right to follow this more emotionally fulfilling path, and it is encouraging you to walk away from what doesn't fulfill you. Now that could literally mean walking away, or for some of you it can be about just setting boundaries in where you are now. So obviously free will in doing what you want. I'm not telling you to walk away from stability or from a relationship even, but it's about, for some of you that could be the case if that's what you feel like is the right thing to do. But it could be about just creating a life more that is more emotionally fulfilling and that is somehow connected to your true self and your soul path, and walking away from scenarios or people that who aren't a part of that, who have this more harsh Queen of Voices energy, that are still caught up in doing what is expected of them, doing what they think that they have to do, and being kind of cut off emotionally, really, essentially being just caught up in the shoulds and the should nots rather than what is emotionally fulfilling. And what's best for you, group number 3, is to walk away. You've seen another way that is possible of being, and I feel like that the cards and yourself as well know that this is something worth pursuing and finding out more about. Now in the final sort of card that we have here is what should you be focusing on, and that is justice. And I feel like this is more a message about having justice by doing this, like essentially having a successful outcome from taking this risk and this risk paying off. Justice, i.e. being things going in your favour, group number 3. Look at this person who is breaking out. Again, we see almost like, well, it's like an old skin, an old shell that is falling away, the snake that sheds its skin. This is a renewed person who is breaking out, and I feel like it's because you've decided to try a different way of doing life, a different path that is connected to your heart, and this feels like a positive outcome that goes in your favour. And what I'm hearing is like a just outcome. So it's also silencing the naysayers, silencing people who don't believe in you, who didn't support this journey, who didn't let you experiment with how you wanted to live your life and the roads that you wanted to take. And this is silencing them. And the proof really will be in how the joy that this new path can bring, and a renewed sense of self, essentially, and being able to let go of this sort of tired, worn out shell that no longer fits and no longer suits group number 3. So quite a powerful reading there. I hope it did resonate. If it did, please give me a thumbs up, leave any comments in the section down below, and subscribe for all future readings. But wishing you all the best for this situation, group number 3. Love and light.